You know these chains, these expectations of others that belittle you, these thoughts of being rejected, or that much of what you do ultimately isn't enough. That's why you adapt. You try to do your best. Maybe you hope it will get you further. But no matter how hard you try, it's never enough, because your boss demands more and more. Your family expects you to adapt, to meet the expectations they set for you, no matter what you want yourself. And even if you give your all, you still go unnoticed. These chains are invisible, but they are real. They hold you tight. They take away any strength within you. But imagine how it could feel to be free. To be free like a lion, strong, unstoppable, and full of pride. Feel his strength, his freedom. This respect he exudes, and the pride that lives within him. I am Cleopatra, and as a queen in a world dominated by men, I have known these chains all too well. But I shed them. And what came after was greater than I could have ever imagined. My story will show you that you don't earn respect by adapting. Alexandria, my home, a city full of life and history. The palace where I live, rule, and where I feel trapped. The world sees only what shines, the splendor, the crown. But behind the splendor lies the hidden, that which remains in the shadows. To them, I am an image, a queen who smiles, is silent, and obeys. But that's not enough. I wanted live. I wanted to dance, laugh, celebrate with my people, be among them. I wanted to be human, not a puppet on the throne. But every time I returned to the palace, they were waiting there. The looks, the expectations, roles I never chose. They wanted me to be silent, to smile and nod. Yes, they would have loved it if I stood up like a little dog at their command. My brother Ptolemy, the king, and I, the accessory, the silent queen at his side, meant to adorn him. In quiet moments, alone in the dark, I asked myself, should I accept the role they want for me? Should I simply be silent and submit? But every time that thought came, I knew deep inside, that would be the end of everything I stand for. For I am Cleopatra. I am not just a queen who lives in silent roles. I am a woman with a vision, for myself, for my people, for Egypt. At least that's what I thought, until I was broken. Ptolemy, my own brother with whom I grew up. Now he stands before me like a judge, and I am the condemned.
Cleopatra, you have left us no choice. Your ambition, your way of elevating yourself above all, that has torn us apart.
No, Ptolemy, it is not my ambition that separates us. It is your fear. You think I want to take the crown from you, but you are mistaken.
Enough, you have betrayed your role as queen. Instead of strengthening the empire, instead of taking on the representative role assigned to you, you mock my rule and question my decisions.
I did not want to overthrow you, Ptolemy. I wanted to build a strong Egypt with you, but you only listen to those who frighten you, and who shape you into a tyrant.
Stop, sister. You will leave this palace and never return. From now on, you are banished. Should you ever set foot in Alexandria again, you will regret it.
So this is how it ends. The Queen of Egypt, alone, exiled, without crown and without family. Just because I didn't want to be the puppet they wanted to see. Should I submit? Should I be the queen who is silent, who asks no questions? But if I do that, if I give up everything, what is left of me? What remains of Cleopatra? In my deepest despair, Imhotep appeared, the wise, calm advisor of my father. He sat next to me, spoke softly but firmly, and his words penetrated deep into my heart.
Stay true to yourself, Cleopatra. Your strength is to follow your own path, even if it means being different. People love you because you are authentic.
But what about all the forces working against me? Do I have to fight them all?
It's not always the strongest who wins, but the one who understands the game. If you stand against a rampaging herd of hippos, you will be trampled. But if you learn to steer them, you use their strength for yourself.
Then I realized that I didn't have to fight every expectation. I could use the forces around me without giving up myself. I had to learn to use the current for myself without breaking. Imhotep's words opened my eyes. I gathered new courage and forged a plan. But before I tell you the rest of my story, let's find out together what your own chains are and how you can shed them. I used to think my life had to meet the expectations of others. But listen carefully. Your life belongs to you, only to you. It is your right to be happy. More than that, being happy is the foundation upon which everything else rests. Why? Imagine your energy as an orange tree full of life with juicy fruits and blossoms. But if it is not cared for, watered, and nurtured, it withers, bare, without fruits, without life. First, find your joy and strength. Then you can be there for others without burning out. So don't be afraid to put yourself first, because you may not only be happy, it is your duty to lead a fulfilled, happy life. Only then can you nurture your own orange tree. But this happiness, these feelings of freedom and fulfillment, you don't find outside. They don't arise from conformity or fear, but lie within yourself. True freedom begins the moment you stop keeping yourself small, when you realize that you are the key to your own happiness. Imagine a flame burning inside you. Perhaps you have dimmed it so often that it is only a flickering light. Freedom means no longer hiding your inner light. It means standing by yourself, without fear, without a mask. Stop adapting to others just to fit in. Be brave. Be yourself. Because the more you live your true self, the greater your inner strength becomes. Freedom means letting this light shine brightly again. You yourself are the source of your freedom. Have you ever noticed how people are drawn to a sunny day? Happiness and joy within you affect others like this sun. Perhaps you fear losing people when you go your own way. Friends, the familiar place at work, the approval of others. But the truth is, when you start living for yourself and radiating joy, you attract people who recognize and appreciate your light. They come to you not because of the role you play, but because of the person you truly are. Just as a flower attracts bees, you too will attract people who are genuine and sincere with your joy and happiness. People who want to shine alongside you instead of dimming your light. Life opens up to you when you are ready to truly be yourself. Imagine a little lion. Let's call him Leo. As a cub, Leo depends on being loved and protected. To secure this feeling, he does what is necessary, subordinates himself, bends, does everything to meet expectations. Thus he learns to make himself small to earn love. Yes, Leo would even hop on one leg if that promises love. But Leo grows older, stronger, a true lion. But he never unlearned staying small inside. He still believes he needs to jump and dance to earn recognition. But in truth, Leo is no longer a kitten. He is the lion that has grown within him, brave and powerful, allowed to be without bending to others. What do you think? Does Leo still have to dance the old dances to be loved? Or would you accept Leo, yes? Perhaps even admire and appreciate him because he is now the strong lion that has always slumbered within him. You know what I'm getting at. You too carry this lion within you. Are you ready to let go of the old roles and live your true strength? To finally be the lion that you are? But to get rid of your chains that hold you back today, you must first recognize them. Because some roles, some obligations are so familiar to you that you hardly notice them. Let's shed light into the darkness together. Imagine 3 everyday obligations. For example, the job, housework, or a regular commitment to others. I will give you 3 examples and place either a sun or a cloud next to each, depending on how they feel. A sun if it brings joy, a cloud if it feels burdensome. Sweeping the yard because no one else does it. Decorate the terrace with fresh flowers. Cooking for Grandma because it's expected of me. Now it's your turn. Think of 3 of your own obligations and mentally place a sun or a cloud next to them. This makes it clearer what really does you good and what holds you back. And now to the crucial question. How can you let go or change the obligations with clouds? Maybe you're thinking now, wait a minute. My job is a cloud, but I can't just quit. And what if my partner leaves me? Or if I can no longer bear the responsibility for my family? You don't have to question everything expected of you all at once. Sometimes it's much wiser to gently meet expectations rather than fight them head on. Imhotep had compared this to my resistance against the Hippos. And he was right. Instead of being trampled by the herd, it was wiser to take control, to ride them and harness their power for my own use. Perhaps you are in a relationship where your partner is used to you cooking fresh every day. This role has developed over the years without you really questioning it. And if you suddenly stop cooking, it could lead to conflicts. But there is a gentle solution. Instead of cooking every day, you can occasionally order something special from the delivery service. Your partner still gets what is important to him, and you gain a little free space for yourself. This way, you gradually create space for yourself without directly breaking others' expectations. Then there are the hyenas, those who only stand by your side when they can gain something for themselves. They feed on your energy, expect you to fulfill their needs without ever giving anything back. And as long as you follow their expectations, they remain calm and satisfied. But as soon as you start standing up for yourself, as soon as you no longer make yourself small, they become restless. They turn against you, call you selfish, accuse you of having changed. But isn't it much more selfish that they expect you to place their happiness above your own? Please take a moment to think about this. What do you want with these people? Yes, losing such false friends can be painful, but it's worth it. Instead, orient yourself toward people who support you, who are truly happy for you and give you strength. Those who accept you, no matter how crazy your phases may be. These people are true friends and true treasures. They let you grow and will never dim your light. If you have someone like that by your side, hold on to them and never let them go. Feelings of guilt can arise when you start standing up for yourself. If you've always been the one who's there for others, jumping at the first call, it might feel unfamiliar to start listening to yourself. And this might provoke resistance, even within yourself. But ask yourself, don't you also deserve to be happy? Because yes, family, children, and obligations, all that matters. But do you want to give people a burnt-out candle or the radiant, shining version of yourself? What you do for others must not mean forgetting yourself. Finding your own path doesn't mean having to change everything at once. On the contrary, true change often happens in small, quiet steps. Try it out. At the next request that isn't important to you, simply say no. It may feel unfamiliar, your knees may shake, but do it 3 times, and you'll notice how good it feels to stand up for yourself. These small steps toward yourself bring you closer each day to the life that truly suits you. Sometimes, however, life requires a bold step when it demands that everything be placed on one card. That was exactly what lay ahead of me. Giving up myself, making myself small, I couldn't do that. But the thought of being alone and cast out was just as unbearable. My mentor Imhotep reminded me, sometimes it's wiser to steer forces rather than fight them. If my brother would not accept me, I had to find allies who would. The opportunity for this lay in Alexandria. Julius Caesar, the most powerful man in Rome, was in my city, a man whose word could decide wars. He was a man of strategy who acted decisively. Each of his decisions could change or end lives. But he was also a man who respected courage and bravery. To impress him, one had to dare more than just words. If I could win him over, I would have such a strong ally that I could return to the palace and my throne. But what if he rejected me? What if everything I still had would be lost forever? And then I had a bold idea. It was so daring that even my confidants froze in horror when I spoke of it. I would have myself wrapped in a carpet, a gift for Caesar. This is how I managed to sneak into his chambers and confront him directly. Would it work? It simply had to. When they opened the carpet, I was ready. I rose, looked him in the eyes, a woman in a world of men who was not afraid to show herself. I didn't speak like a supplicant. I stood before him like an ally, confident, clear, without hiding. My words were not meant to plead. They showed him that I was here because I had something unique to offer. And in that moment, I could see his respect grow.
A woman who dares such a thing? Really brave. Perhaps even smarter than all of us.
Caesar was impressed. He offered me his support. But my victory had a price. For my brother, I was no longer his sister, but a traitor. The pain of knowing that he ultimately rejected me cut deep into my heart. Family and connection. These are wounds that can heal but never completely disappear. But then I saw myself, and what I saw was worth it. I was a woman who had not bent herself. I had earned the respect of Caesar and many others, but most importantly, I could respect myself. I learned that true strength does not lie in conformity, but in being true to yourself. And yes, it costs. You will feel resistance and it will stir up dust. In the end, it's not about convincing everyone. It's about being at peace with yourself. I promise you, when you walk your path, when you stay true to yourself, then you will feel like the lion. Free, proud, respected. And do you know why? Because then you are the lion. Take the first step and claim the respect you deserve. I believe in you, because if I could do it, then you can too.